This is the conscious hour. Ever since Vietnam, we should have learned that war is a racket. We were in Vietnam. We were supposedly saving the South Vietnam from communism. Total lie. Every war we've been in, the United States, we've gone into foreign countries and basically been at war, stole resources to make profits for corporations. So, why do we keep continuing down this road? Why do we always have to be the one that's going to war in a foreign country? Have we ever been attacked from another foreign country in the United States? No, and we never will be. Look at how big our landmass is. So it's not the threat that's over there that's coming to get us. And this is what America's been propagandized. Let's go back and look through history. This is a great discussion. Go ahead. Here we go. And check this YouTube videos out. It's by Danny Haifong. He does excellent reporting. Here we go.
We can close on this kind of shift in the world that's going on because, of course, we have the Iran situation that's really deteriorated in many ways, at least for now. In large part because Iran can do things like jam Starlink. They can do things like, hit U.S. bases in a manner that cannot be defended against. You also have Ben. I wanted your opinion on this because this was another big move in 2026 that was made in the world, which is Russia using the Oreshnik for the second time, the Oreshnik missile. And now Europe, according to Emmanuel Macron, they need something like it. And I think this underscores a major change in the world. I mean, you can see this video, which is in Lviv, in Ukraine, right on the Polish border, of how fast this missile moves. It looks like whatever Zeus or Greek mythology in the sky. But it's a massively powerful weapon, and Europe is panicking. In the United States, at the UN, said what was it? Tammy Bruce. She said that this is a major escalation, and Russia needs to stop using this kind of weapon. So we are seeing, I think, a major shift in the world where this
Russia needs to stop using this weapon, meaning code for, oh, we better build something like that too. Oh, look at our arms race. Russia's got one, so we've got to build one so we can keep playing this game so we can make massive profits for corporations. That's all it's about, folks. It's not about war or somebody invading anybody unless it's the United States and its allies going in and invading foreign countries to steal their resources. Let's keep going here.
fight the fact that the United States still has the ability to conduct operations like it did in Venezuela, still can and probably will try to bomb, if not actually bomb Iran. It will continue to try a proxy war in Ukraine or wherever else to try to contain Russia. It'll continue to try to contain China and wage war against it. But there are these big limitations happening because there is an actual development process that's occurring different from the United States' unipolar world, which has things like major technological advances like the Oreshnik, and also, countries that do have people who support their governments and don't want to see a return to whether it's the Shah in Iran or the neoliberal hell that existed in Venezuela. This is a different world. So I'm curious on what your comments are on this.
Yeah, this is a point
This
that
is
you and
Ben
I, Danny,
Norton.
have always emphasized, going back in these discussions back years. The U.S. empire, and following the European colonial empires, loves to attack small countries that can't defend themselves. But when it comes to medium and large sized countries that actually can establish a deterrence and can defend themselves, suddenly, these imperial bullies have to actually think twice. China and Russia are just at a whole new level, and we can see that in Ukraine, where there was this propaganda we were bombarded with. I'm sure you remember it at the beginning of this new phase of the Ukraine war. Let's not forget this war goes back to 2014 when the U.S. backed a coup in Ukraine that overthrew Ukraine's independent, non-aligned, geopolitically non-aligned leader and put in power a pro-Western puppet regime who vowed to join NATO, starting this war, this proxy war,
So we'll hold it right there. Do yourself a favor. Go look in the history books and look at how many coups d'etats we've had where we've removed democratically elected leaders.
2014, and then the new phase of the war in 2022. And after that, the Biden administration claimed that they would turn the Russian ruble into rubble. that NATO would defeat Russia. Well, all of NATO combined was unable to defeat Russia and Ukraine. And compared to China, Russia is still much weaker. Obviously, we're talking about Russia as a major military, but China is probably the only military on earth that is close to the same level as the US military. So clearly, the U.S. has to really not only think twice, they have to think 3 or 4 or 5 times before any potential conflict with China, which is why they prefer proxy conflicts and attacking Chinese partners. This is the Cold War, right? We are in Cold War II, and just as in Cold War I, the U.S. they never directly fought a conventional war with the Soviet Union. Instead, they fought proxy wars and wars against Soviet allies and partners. This is what we're seeing today in Cold War II. And I have no doubt that 50 years from now, historians will look back at these US attacks on Venezuela and Iran as also part of Cold War II attempts to destabilize Chinese partners. I'm not saying this is only.
So that's where we're headed. You see, we just keep playing these war game because it's profiteering for corporations. So let's do something totally different here, folks. Let's have a reboot 3.0, not 2.0, 3.0, where we do not use the military industrial complex to wage wars and invade foreign countries. If we want to do business with a foreign country and we would want to buy their resources, then do it professionally. Don't go in and bomb the shit out of them and steal it from them. No, we can have a reboot 3.0. We don't need a large military industrial complex. And oh, that's worth getting somebody killed for because that's $1 trillion machine. Well, hey, folks, there's another way. There's a whole new system out there where we use the military to actually implement advanced technologies around the world to make the world, every country in the world, more prosperous and solve all their problems. We take the military industrial complex and create a solution oriented complex that basically brings and makes a better world by using advanced technologies to help all countries. Then we have a global monetization where all the countries are working together so they can all prosper. Now, that sounds like heaven on earth to me, or we can just blow it up. What do you think? Give me your thoughts. If somebody's got another strategic plan in their mind about a reboot, come on the show. Let's talk about it because these people, the Beltway bandits, they're stuck. APAC, they pay our politicians to do the wars for the Zionists. And the Zionism is the machine of war. We need to disassemble it and make it into a new machine that's accountable to all people, to all life on planet Earth. This is the Conscious Hour, folks. It's your turn. Wake up. Let's make it happen.